Hello, everyone. My name is Molly Casey, and I have the honor of interviewing Landyn. Can you please pronounce your last name for me because I want to do it correctly?
Yeah, it's Landyn Exarhos.
I would have never gotten that right. Landyn Exarhos, Teen World 2022. And y'all, I have to tell you about Landyn before we jump in. She's an accomplished teen who is a CEO, inventor, entrepreneur, humanitarian, and the reigning Teen International World United States. At just 12 years old, she invented a product to help curb COVID statistics and was accepted into MIT's entrepreneurship program. And she's a founder of a nonprofit program called Kids Safe, and she is an ongoing advocate for people with special needs. Do you ever sleep?
Rarely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I am so excited to get to know you a little bit better. Can you please just explain to me what the process is like to become Miss Teen International World?
Well, the process was actually very easy. And our director is amazing. You apply, and then our director has like different events and stuff that we've met girls and different things like that. And then we do like Zoom calls and stuff to prepare before the pageant. And she gives you the laydown of how everything's going to happen and everything like that. And then we go to the pageant and you meet all the girls, and it's just it's an amazing experience.
So, tell me about what it was like to compete for Teen International World United States.
Well, it was so I competed twice for this pageant. The first one, um, that was kind of scary because it was like right when COVID was just ending. So my mom wasn't able to go, so I went with my dad. So that was kind of interesting, but it was so fun, and all the girls are amazing. And then my second year, I got to actually compete with my mom. My mom competed, and we both won our titles. So that was really nice to have her around. So,
That's incredible. And tell me a little bit about the organization. I have read through the website multiple times. I'm sure other people have done research on it too leading up to this, but tell me a little bit about the organization and what drew you to it.
well, I liked how many different like titles that they had. They have Teen International World, they have Miss International World. That's like their main titles, and then they have Classic, then they have Petite, and then they have Supermodel, and they have a bunch of different categories. So I think that's what really drew me to the pageant, and everybody's included.
So, what got you into pageantry in the first place?
Well, my mom, she's been Miss Virginia USA. I think she was a runner-up at Universe too. So she's been in pageantry like my whole life growing up. So I figured it was finally time to try it myself, and I found this organization. So it was a very good experience so far.
And so, is this the only organization that you've competed in so far?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you rose through the ranks really quickly there.
Yeah.
So, with your title, what does your year look like as Miss Teen International World?
Well, my director, Angela, she has scheduled lots of things for me. We even have Supermodels Unlimited magazine. She signed me up to compete for the like teen supermodel of the year. And so with that, you get to go to like I went to New York Fashion Week. I walked for New York Fashion Week. Many photo shoots over there. I even went to Greece and did a photo shoot there. So Supermodels Unlimited have given me many opportunities, especially in the modeling world. Um, and my director, we have schedules, things to do like every week. So she keeps us busy.
And so, do you? It sounds like you actually travel the world too with this title.
Yes, for sure. All over the place.
What was it like going to Greece for a photo shoot?
Greece was actually so cool. It's just an amazing place to be. I mean, the food's great, the atmosphere is great, and everything like that. I'm even going back this summer to go to more photo shoots.
I'm jealous on a variety of levels. So,
Yeah.
tell me what it's like to be a CEO and what you are the CEO of.
So I am the CEO of Color Me Clean soap and Blue 20 soap. And it's basically a soap that I created that changes color after 20 seconds to basically alert you that you washed your hands for the correct amount of time per CDC. Um, so that was pretty interesting. I did it like right in the middle of COVID. So we were in lockdown. I was like, I have nothing to do. Might as well do something. And so that's what I took the whole time, and I finally figured it out. And so that's what I've created. I think I was 12. It was a long time ago. But now I'm 15.
You, as a 12-year-old, figured out the molecular composition of soap to change colors.
Yeah. It took a long time because we just kept ordering different chemicals, and then finally it was funny because actually the wrong chemical came, and then that was the chemical that made everything work. So that was pretty interesting.
Wow. So is this something that you sell online, or does it sell in stores? Where do you sell your soaps?
Well, it's kind of in the manufacturing and distribution stage right now, so we're still trying to figure those things out so far. But hopefully it'll be out soon. So
That's, I think, probably the coolest thing I have ever heard, and now I want to see it change colors. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for that just to see how that all works because that's just fantastic.
thank you.
So, with being a pageant queen and being an inventor and a CEO and a volunteer, what do you think that the the biggest misconception people have is about you?
Um, Probably like balancing my life. I'm able to balance school with my pageantry life, and so I do stuff that like a normal teenager would, but I also do stuff that not everybody gets to do. Like my schooling, I'm homeschooled. I just homeschooled this year so that I could, do more things like travel, whatever. And with that opportunity, I'm actually able to take college classes as a freshman in high school. And so by doing that, I think by the time I graduate high school, I'll be able to have my AA. So that's pretty cool too.
So you are the definition of beauty and brains.
Thank
Putting that
you.
out there. So within all of this and leading up to everything that you've accomplished, was there ever a time when you wanted to give up?
Um, I've had a very good support system behind me, my whole family. So I don't think I've ever wanted to give up um, because they've always supported me throughout everything I've done, schooling, pageantry, everything. So no, I don't think I've ever wanted to get up because they've just always supported me the whole way.
What do you think the biggest challenge has been so far for you as both an international title holder and a teen?
Um, I guess balancing is difficult, but when you have the right people behind your back, it gets pretty easy. And my director's amazing. She's super flexible with my schedule, um, with like all tests and whatever. Um, so it's probably balancing. It's probably the hardest part, but I think I'm doing an okay job.
So far, it sounds like you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
So you are the 2022 title holder. When do you give up your title and what is next?
So I give up my title in October, and the pageant is actually on a cruise ship. So that's pretty cool, and I get to judge on a cruise ship, and it goes to the Bahamas. Um, and I've been on it twice so far, and it's an amazing cruise line, and all the people are great on the ship. Um, and then we compete there on the ship while we're in the Bahamas. And then I guess what's next is I'm also a model, and I'm probably going to start pursuing that more and, always use my title because we are always allowed to use it, even the year that we have it. So, and hopefully the next girl will also do an amazing job.
I have a feeling she's got big shoes to fill, but you will probably be a great role model for her.
Thank you.
So, with
Hopefully.
being the international title holder and having gotten the chance to compete with your mom, do you look forward to potentially competing again in the future in the international world system?
Yeah, I'm excited to do that. I think eventually I'm going to use a couple years and just see where I get in the modeling world. And then maybe when I'm like 17, 18, I might go back into pageantry and maybe compete again. And I don't know, I'll see where it takes me.
So you said that your mom was a big inspiration as to why you jumped into pageantry in the first place, but what's something that you've learned or what's the biggest thing you've learned so far in your journey with pageantry?
I guess like the way you treat people is extremely important. And I think I've learned that a lot through pageantry because, you're volunteering, you're doing all sorts of things, and, you get to speak with a lot of people. And it's really important to, treat people the way you want to be treated and everything like that.
For anyone that's maybe new to pageants, what are a few tips that you would give them in preparing for whatever level pageant they're competing in, whether it be a local or international?
Um, I guess to just like be yourself, honestly. I mean, that's what pageantry is really about, is just showing who you are. Um, and I guess tips are just, prepare like for anything to come because you never know what's going to come at you, interview wise, everything. And, just relax and just be yourself, especially because the judges will see, you know, if you're really being yourself or if you're being another side of your version of yourself. So I guess, yeah.
Do you ever feel pressure as a teen to fit into a specific pageant mold?
Um, Not really for me because I mean, I've had my mom as my example kind of, and she's always told me that it's so important, especially competing in pageants, to just be yourself and be who you are. So,
And with being who you are and interview being part of the competition, what do you do to practice for the interview portion and the public speaking portion of competition?
honestly, I don't even practice. I mean, I really don't. I just throw myself there and I just answer how I just naturally would because that's what the judges are looking for. It's just who you are and your true self and just super honest.
Is there any part of competition that makes you maybe more nervous than the rest?
Honestly, like when we're walking on stage, because you always feel that gut, like that you're gonna trip, especially on the cruise ship where it's like going all over the place. But honestly, that's probably the most scary part to me.
So can you feel that the ship rocking as you're competing?
Yeah, well, it depends on which like part you're competing in. It's only when you're like actually on the water, like going back home, that's when it was like really bad. But like the first year it wasn't that bad, and then the second year was like, but
That's incredible. So when you compete for the pageant, how many days worth of competition are you in?
I think it's 2 days, and so you go. I think Saturday you go and you get on the cruise ship, and then we do orientation, whatever. Um, and then we do our costume competition, which you basically represent whatever state you were competing for. So, like, I was a Statue of Liberty for the US. Um, and then we do rehearsals, and then we do swimsuit also. And then the next day we do swimsuit. And then we do evening gown also on the second day. And then we spend the next night, and then I think Monday we get back home. And then so yeah, it's really quick. It's really quick, especially for everything that's going on. There's so much going on during the pageant, but it's a really fun time, and everybody's amazing and wonderful. So it's a good experience for sure.
What is it like to try to pack all of your pageant outfits onto a cruise ship?
I mean, it wasn't actually that bad, surprisingly. I fit all my stuff in like one suitcase, but I mean, my mom had like two or three. But I guess just planning ahead is really important. Like, I would put all my outfits together in each pile, and really all you're wearing is your pageant stuff because it's so rapid pace. So, all you really have to bring is pajamas other than your pageant stuff. So,
Maybe rhinestone pajamas. Like that would be like
yeah,
the cherry on top of pageant wear.
for sure.
So with it being, 3-day competition, did you feel like you got to really get to know those that you were competing with over those 3 days?
Well, I would say so because especially after the pageant, we all kept in contact and we all, some people would be doing appearances with each other, um, and everything like that, even beforehand, because we post like our director posts like who's competing, like really when it's getting up to the pageant, and so you can always contact them or whatever. So it's a family, it's a sisterhood, so we all keep in contact.
So tell me a little bit about the difference between International World and Teen International World United States.
I guess there's not really much of a difference because since I was so local, a lot of the times when like the main title holders aren't able to, fulfill their duties or whatever, um, they'll actually contact the other people who have like, let's say I had the United States title, like I could go out and do appearances as well if the Teen International World could not.
Oh, so they are
And
two separate competitions, but you get to reign with your
yeah.
sisters.
Right. And even with the international title, you get the world experience. That's the only difference I would say.
So were the dates different for the US competition versus international competition?
Mm-mm. You get your titles, you go through an interview process beforehand to get your country that you're going to represent, and then you compete at the main pageant for the world title, pretty much.
Wow. So do you know how many other people interviewed for your same team title for the United States?
I think a lot of girls interviewed, especially for United States. I'm pretty sure there was a lot, but luckily I got picked.
Well, you have quite a bit going for you, Miss Inventor, CEO, Smarty Pants Queen. It's hard not to.
Thank you.
So, you've only competed in what now, 3 pageants?
Two.
2. What do you wish you had known or some tip that you wish you had been told before you got into your first pageant?
Um, Probably how to walk because my mom, like I said before, she wasn't able to go to the pageant with me. My dad did. And right before she got COVID, so that's why she couldn't go, is because she got COVID. And she was supposed to, that 2 weeks before the pageant, like teach me every day walking. And we didn't get to do that. So I just went for it. And I guess it paid off.
You went with your gut and you went with being you.
Right. And I actually did watch a lot of YouTube videos, so I guess those help too.
So with learning how to walk, was it more the nerves of being in the heels? Was it the nerves of just how the heck do I pose? What was the biggest challenge of learning to walk for you?
Well, I never been in heels before that, so I guess just getting used to it because they're hard to walk in. You really have to practice. And so I guess eventually I've started to get used to it now. Um, but it's just repetition, I think. And I think that's what really makes you strong at it.
As you move through your year, you are also the founder of Kids Safe. Can you tell me a
Mhm.
little bit about Kids Safe?
Basically, it's an organization for kids, and we are creating like material and stuff for other kids. So it's made by kids for kids, and basically, it's different material for like schools and stuff that they can use. That can range from like COVID safety all the way to like stranger danger and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, we're also in the process of that. So hopefully that gets done quickly.
What's the biggest challenge of creating content for kids by kids?
I guess balancing with school and stuff, it's gonna be easier now summer's out, but with school and not all my friends, especially the people who are involved, are actually homeschooled. So some of them have actual school. So it was hard to, get everybody together. But hopefully this summer it'll be good.
So what is it like to be homeschooled and, go from being in a classroom to, being on a plane to Greece writing an essay?
Um, well, I'm actually really glad I've homeschooled because my schedule's gotten pretty busy ever since winning this title. Um, but it's just balance, I guess, is really the main thing because you have to make sure that you're working on your school, keeping up with your studies, and then also being able to do traveling and appearances and all of that sort of stuff.
So tell me a little bit about the sisterhood of Teen International World and International World in general. I know that it's new-ish to me, and it might be new to some of our viewers as well. And I'm apparently knocking things different directions. Tell me a little bit about the sisterhood and what you may have learned so far from your sisters.
I've met a lot of amazing women throughout this pageant. Not only is our director, Angela, she is amazing. Um, Everybody in it has just been wonderful. You don't really expect that. You may expect some people to be petty or whatever during pageants, but no, nobody I've met in that system has ever been like that. And they're just all amazing people.
If if you were to try to dispel, some myth or rumor about pageants, what would it be and how would you go about that? Because it sounds like, you thought, somebody might be petty coming into it, and I think that's fairly common myth, but what would you want to tell people or help people understand about pageants?
Probably about how like people think we're really like superficial and like fake, but we're all real people and we just do different things than others. And I think that's just a really common misconception that a lot of people have about pageantry. And, we're all the same. I mean, we all have our different qualities. And I think that's what pageantry is really all about, is showing those qualities um, that you have.
And you yourself have, it sounds like, done quite a bit this year so far. What's been one of your favorite, appearances or volunteer experiences that you've had and that you've been able to show off those different qualities?
Well, I actually did a photo shoot at a group home with foster girls. And, now I have a foster sister through that. And we did like their photo shoots to send to their relatives or whatever, like that. And, we got to help them pose and everything like that. And actually, a lot of the girls from my pageant system went, and that was a blast, just hanging out with all the girls and everything like that, and being able to bring her home and just give her a new life. And it's really nice to see that.
Tell me what it was like to do a photo shoot, and or I guess, how did you even come up with that idea? Let's start there.
It's we've been doing it for 2 years now. So the first year I went and helped out because it was started through a photographer that I've shot with, and he invited us, and we were like, "Why not? That sounds like a great idea." And we went the first year, and it was just an amazing experience, like spending time with all those girls and everything like that. We were like, we have to come back. So then we started doing actual like camps um, at the facility at their group home, and we did, talking about how people like their self-esteem and stuff like that. And uh, we had speakers come on. A lot of the pageant title holders, they also joined and spoke at the camps. And then well, actually, no, we did the first photo shoot, then we did a camp, and then we came back, I think this year, to do another photo shoot. And then we brought even more girls.
So how many girls do you think you've been able to connect with total over the last 2 years?
Probably hundreds, to be honest. I mean, you meet people everywhere you go, especially with your title. Um, and I've done a lot of appearances with my organization. So I've been a lot of places, and each place I go, I meet lots and lots of people.
And then how many, teams do you think? Oh, my dog is having a conversation with the window. How many teens do you think you've been able to impact through doing the photo shoots at the group home?
Honestly, I feel like we impacted everybody in that home some way. You know, Probably 50, maybe. I think there was 50 in that home. Um, but it's really nice to help others, and especially with your title, you can do a lot. So it was really nice to see.
And are you going to do it next year as well?
every year probably.
Do the girls get to keep their photos after?
Yeah.
That sounds like so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And so the photographer, it sounds like that was kind of who created this idea, but where did they even get the idea from? Do you know?
I have no idea, but I think he's been doing it for a lot of years, like prior. So I think he's been doing it for a long time, if I'm to be honest, I think.
That's
But he invited us and we were like, that's amazing. And we wanted to help him pose and, all that sort of things.
You guys could all learn to walk together. Your mom could teach all
Yeah,
y'all to walk together.
for sure.
Bring a whole bunch of pairs of heels and just see what happens.
And previously, before that, we did a camp for girls. I think I've been doing it for like 10 years. So, like, I was born, but like, I was really little. Um, and we've been doing it at Shriners Children's Hospital for the past 10 years. And we invite all the girls from the hospital and out from the world. And we do like I think a week long camp. And you know, COVID ended it, so we couldn't do it after COVID. But so this was like our start to do it again in person because we did it online before that. Um, so yeah,
And is
hopefully we'll
that like a confidence building kind of almost
yeah,
boot campish kind of thing?
yeah, kind of like that.
That is incredible. What's for you been the most, I guess, influential part on you from doing these photo shoots and from hosting these camps for young women that, aren't in the best of situations?
Well, I've met a lot of amazing girls. One of them specifically, her name's Valentina. She has cerebral palsy, and she has actually ended up creating her own little organization with me and my mom. And it's called I Hate Pity. And, it's been amazing to see the different impacts and how it grows so quickly. And, you can't do that without a title. I mean, that title gets your foot right in the door. You know what I'm saying? And she's been an amazing, amazing influence on even me.
So I know that, earlier I mentioned that you are a special needs advocate. What does that mean to you, and how did you get into that?
So my twin brother, he has Cornelia de Lange syndrome. So I've always been to, the different. My mom's a really like avid speaker on special needs as well, and so I've always lived with, going to different events for different things, and so I kind of grew up that way, and so I figured I would start speaking on it as well.
So where have you spoken so far about special needs?
Schools. I do it at the camps too, and like charity and fun things like that. So,
What do you wish people knew more about when it came to special needs, especially being the sibling or a family member of somebody with special needs?
they're just the same as us. They just have different challenges that we don't have to face, and they're just regular people. And I think that's a common misconception that a lot of people have. Because my brother is funny. He makes me laugh. So he's the best.
What's like the funniest thing that he's done? Maybe not of all time, but like in the last week.
I'd have to say I love his dance moves. He likes to dance a lot. Um, and he's hilarious. I love his dance moves. We have like different dance parties and stuff like that.
That sounds great. That also sounds like a great idea for like some type of event or fundraiser. It's just a dance party for your
Right.
brother and like,
Hmm.
that would be so much fun.
That's a good idea.
So, with being somebody that has a special needs sibling, how has that impacted you? Has made you more patient or more understanding? What has that impact been on you?
I feel like naturally it just makes you more patient, understanding, everything like that. Um, but it's nice to be aware, especially at such a young age. I was so aware of the different things that people face, and just like what it's all about. And so, yeah.
Does he get to travel with you when you go to Greece and do modeling and all that fun stuff?
He comes right along with me.
What a lucky brother.
Yeah.
So, with your modeling career, it sounds like that's what you want to focus on after you give up your title this year. What's your goal, like modeling gig?
Well, I'm not in an agency yet, so I want to get signed to an agency hopefully. And I mainly want to start modeling like the Miami, New York areas. And I really want to take that and really stick with it and hopefully become something bigger in the modeling world.
What do you think is the biggest challenge that you face or that young women face in general when it comes to trying to break into modeling and be a model?
Um, I guess like trust in, that you have to put your best foot forward and, hopefully somebody will like that foot. And just you got to put yourself out there and stuff like that to really, yeah, because you never know who's good and who's bad.
Do you ever feel pressure as a model to look a certain way or fit a certain size?
For sure. I definitely do. Because, the modeling world has always been that way with, skin color, size, but, they're slowly getting out of that. Um, and so I feel like it's not that important anymore because there's so many different types of models, you know what I'm saying? So like if you want to be a runway model, yeah, maybe that would matter, but you can do so many like beauty campaigns and different things like that.
Do you feel like that's the same with the pageant world?
I feel like anyone can do a pageant, to be honest. Like anybody can, as long as you really like show yourself and like be who you are. I think anybody can win a title.
And when it comes to the international world system and competing for Teen International World, why should someone compete to take your title or one of the international world system titles?
Because the opportunities are extensive, especially in this organization. I've been given so many opportunities, even modeling opportunities, um, through my organization, and so the opportunities are endless.
When you think about your year and, what you want your legacy to be, what do you want to be remembered for as Teen International World?
Probably like giving back to the community. I try to do as much as I can with volunteering, everything like that. So I think that's the main reason I would be remembered.
What's your favorite organization to volunteer with or for?
Probably the National Humane Society. I love animals, so I love being around them.
Do you have any animals?
I do. I have two dogs and a cat.
I was expecting like a horse and a bunny to be added to that list.
Wish. I really want a horse so bad.
Horses are hard to take care of, I've heard.
That's true. They are. But, they're worth it, to be honest.
What kind of animals do you get to interact with when you're volunteering for the Humane Society?
A lot of like babies, so like kittens and puppies and stuff like that. Um, and then we basically, make them well so that they can get their own homes and stuff like that.
That sounds like the best volunteer gig ever.
Right? I love it. I mean, animals are the best. They're awesome. I love them.
Just cuddling with puppies and kitties all day? Sign me up.
That's true. But, we also get to like clean the cages and clean the litter pans and all that sort of thing. So there's some dirty work involved, but it's it's really nice to keep them safe.
So, with everything that you're involved with and everything that you do, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm, 28 and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up sometimes, but do you have any ideas?
Um, I mainly don't, but probably being happy. That's my main goal in life. Um, just be happy with what I'm doing and whatever that may be.
That's the best answer I think I've ever heard from that question. I think so many times, especially in the pageant world, we are all type A go-getters. We always have something going on. And so to know that in the long run, what's really important is happiness and just being content with where you're at is, to quote Ted Lasso, I don't know if you know how mentally healthy that is. Like if you've heard that sound on Reels or TikTok, you'll fully
Mhm.
understand. But what are you looking forward to most with being able to travel for the rest of the year and getting ahead with, an AA by the time you graduate high school?
I guess I'm just really excited to see like where this title will take me because I'm actually this summer I'm going to London, Greece, all sorts of places in Europe, um, and to promote my title and different things like that. So I'm really excited for that. And when I get back home, there will be plenty of opportunities for me to, you know, go out in the world.
So that your director going with you on all these trips internationally?
No, but she's sending me out, so.
That's pretty cool. It sounds like your director is very involved. I see her she actually is all over the comments section, which I absolutely stinking love. But tell me a little bit about Angela.
Um, Angela, she is just an amazing person, like in general. I mean, she's done so much for me, for my mom. Um, Even if you don't even win the title, you're still involved in the, you know, appearances. She'll always invite you. Um, and she's just been a great director. Even though I've never had one, but my mom has said that this is like the best system she's ever competed in. So I think she's just amazing.
And when you compete on, the boat, does she spend a lot of time with you all? It's funny to say compete on a boat. I'm still getting used to that. But does she spend a lot of time with you all during rehearsals and, during the competition to really help you guys get to know her?
Oh, yes, for sure. She's always there. Even though she has to, communicate with the captains and everybody to make sure everything's running smoothly, she's still there and still communicating with everyone.
Looks like she's a big, big fan of yours. She goes, love you, love you, love you. So sounds like she is very involved. So, is there anything that you wish or you want people to know about the international world system that you haven't been able to tell me yet?
That they can always reach out to me, especially. Like, I'm always open. You can DM me, ask me questions if you're competing, and I'll always answer. Um, I think that's the difference. And, even if you're on the fence, I can, help you out because it's an amazing. Wouldn't expect it, but I've gotten so many opportunities from this pageant system.
And help me remember, what are all the areas of competition? It sounds like costume is one of them, which now I'm going to look for a picture of that costume because it sounds great. An evening gown and swimsuit, but what are the other areas?
So before you go to the pageant, you have your interview online on Zoom. And then I think that's like a couple days before the pageant. And then you have your orientation first, and we just get to meet all the girls in person. And then you have your costume, and then which is kind of like a runway show where we like show out all of our costumes from our different countries, which is super cool to see. But it's not judged. And then we have swimsuit, and then we do that on the boat, like around the pool, which is pretty cool. Um, and then we have our evening gown, and then we also have our onstage question as well.
What was your onstage question?
Um, what was your definition of success? That was mine.
What is your definition of success?
It's funny because it was the same answer that I told you about what I want to be when I grow up, just to be happy.
I
And
knew that was what you were going to say. That's a
yep,
great answer, though. It's a
yeah.
great answer. So modeling around the pool in your swimsuit, were you in heels walking around a pool?
I think it was optional. If you wanted to, you could, because some girls wanted to. I went barefoot, but because it can be a little bit dangerous. But
All I can
I
see
guess
is
it's your
myself
preference.
slipping in pool water, like, knowing my
Mhm.
coordination, that is exactly what would happen. So, we are almost to the end of our interview, but I really wanna ask you some really fun, quick questions. Are you ready for this or that?
I'm ready.
Awesome. Activewear or swimwear?
Activewear.
Stilettos or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Do you have a favorite pair of sneakers?
Probably my Converse.
Ooh, what color are they?
White.
Put
But they're
rhinestones on.
dirty.
Oh, but
What?
they're dirty? I was gonna
Yeah,
say, you put rhinestones all over them because 'cause they're white.
that would be pretty cool.
Phone calls or text messages?
Phone call.
Alright. Waking up early or waking up late?
Oh, I hate waking up early, so waking up late.
Same. Being underdressed or being overdressed?
Underdressed.
City girl or country girl?
Country girl.
Hair up for competition or hair down for competition?
Hair down.
And my favorite, lipstick or lip gloss?
Lip gloss. That's easy.
Really? Not
Yeah, I
lipstick?
love it. I love lip gloss.
Do you have, like, a favorite brand of lip gloss?
Um, I don't even know. I just use like sometimes I steal my mom's, maybe I'll find mine. I don't even know what I use. I use different things every time.
It's true. So to wrap everything up and to thank you, as a pageant resource, because that is exactly what we are, what is something that you as a title holder would like to see more from us?
Um, hmm, maybe different. That's a hard question. Maybe ways to, prepare for pageants and, get yourself in the zone uh, to compete.
That's a good idea. I like the pageant meditation or something.
Exactly.
I'm sure that's out there somewhere. Thank you so incredibly much for taking the time to chat with me today. It was wonderful to get to know you, and I cannot wait to see what you do because you are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. It was great to have everyone that jumped in. If you are watching this later on, thank you again for watching this. We have had a great time this evening, and we will see you next time. Bye, y'all.